Welcome everybody to Mega Tucker Tuesday. Uh, we're still just working an hour a day, so we'll be on for an hour, and I appreciate you spending the evening with me. Let me get some light on here so I can see what I'm doing. And we'll turn this on. Basically, I'm just finishing a project off every hour, every day. If you remember, I sewed in the ribs on the last video, and I did glue this center section down with white glue off camera because it takes a while to dry. Let's see here. Gotta make sure that we got two. Okay, we're still streaming. So I had it weighted. Make sure that you can see what I'm doing here. I had it weighted down and pinned, white glued. I don't use a whole lot of white glue on things, but anytime you have an area that's hidden like this, there's two ribs inside here. You can't use CA, so you might as well just glue it down with white glue. Guess we can go ahead and get the landing gear mount done today. I'll show you how that's made up. Get these off here before I knock them off and lose them. Oh, I got my order of 256 bolts in today from Micro Fasteners. This is I had to spend $28 for a tail wheel axle. I didn't have any 256 bolts, so ordered 50 of those, and I think there's probably 100 in here. Yeah, 100 washers and 50 blind nuts. I guess we can do that first. That way I can see how that's going to work. I have no room to work whatsoever. I've been thinking about this tail wheel setup because the tail wheel, I need to put this here. Also need to put in a T-nut. I got a T-nut here I don't want to lose, so I'll have to get a screw for that. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and screw this on the slider so I don't lose it, but it's not on there permanent. Remember, don't make the mistake I did at Huntersville by not putting a blind nut, or I mean a aircraft nut, a nylock on the back side of one of these, or at least some JD weld so on the thread so it won't back out, because it backed out and I lost the elevator horn on a flight and the airplane hit the ground. Okay, I got some more pins here, better put in the box. Now there was a guy, I think his name was Eddie, on the Hangout last night, said that he can't post in chat. You're not excluded from. I haven't banned anybody from posting in chat. So if you can't post, it's a setting in YouTube. Because there's some funny things going on with YouTube right now, like my notifications won't come up, or I'm losing, some ability. I don't know what's going on. They're monkeying around, but it's not me. So I apologize, but I don't own YouTube. If I did, it would work, and it wouldn't be censored. You don't want to sand this sheeting too much, and you don't want to sand in this area. You don't want to sand on the leading edge at all. But because of the way this wing's designed, and the problem that I had with the Junar XL, this is the same wing, we poked a hole right here from handling it. I believe I'm going to carbon fiber the center section on this one. I'll just dope in some 2/10 Vail, and maybe that'll stiffen it up enough. Please consider joining the channel, becoming a member. I'd like to get at least 10 new members a month. To get some added perks, I do one member-only video a week. We're going to have a member-only chat session here. Probably do it the third week of the month. Also, I have added Charles as a manager of the channel, so that if Rusty is unable to do a live stream, he'll be able to do it from the left coast, the really left coast. Yeah, I need a smaller block. I don't want to. Let's see here. Okay, let's do the tail wheel. See how that's going to look. Got to take the rudder off, so give me a second. One, two. Okay, got the rudder off. All right, so here's the rudder. Tail wheel is going to mount inside here. This looks like a solid piece of wood, but it's a pretty complex piece. It's hollow and it's got plywood in it. And I want to, I'm going to do a detail on this. I've been thinking about this all day. And we got somebody post. Hey, Charles. You don't want to mess with it. That's Daly, Joe Daly. You don't want that. It's not necessary. Where the horn comes out the top, I got one. It ain't it ain't where it's at. Too much rigmarole. Okay, let's do got my finger drill in the drill, and I'm going to eyeball. We'll put a mark here, I guess, where I want this. It's going to be right there, right on the edge. Now this is a 16th inch drill bit in a finger drill. Need a piece of backup wood. It's a 256 screw. Okay, got the hole drilled for the axle. Looks like it's in straight, I hope. We'll know here in a second. But I don't want the blind nut showing, and I don't want the head of the screw showing. So how am I going to do that? Well, I thought about this today at lunch. I'm going to build up a 1/4 inch or maybe 1/8 of an inch, whatever it takes to hide the head of the screw, a little bump on each side of the rudder here, so it looks real clean. It's not necessary, but it's just a little added detail that'll go, wow, that's cool. Kind of like that thing in my dashboard. I forgot to call the AMA today to see if they're going to refund the money if they don't hold the nats. That's a long screw. So John has set this up for 256. That's a beautiful wheel John made me. We had a little index that weighs 2 grams. Okay, Charles, we'll see you later. If I had an index table, I could drill holes in this and make it even lighter. Could make it 1 gram. I might just go ahead and buy an index table. Thank you for the like, whoever did that. So it's bigger than a 16th. I don't have any number bits here, so I'm going to have to use my fractional bits and just go up one size from a 16th, which is, can't even see in here. .5/64. We'll try that. I don't want this sloppy at all. I don't want any slop in this. Because the minute it starts slopping around in there, you know, it won't take long to destroy it. Of course, I'm going to harden it up with some CA too. Let's see, I hope that nope, it's bigger than 5/64. I gotta go up one more size. Ease up on it. I know damn well this is too big. I'm gonna try to screw this in there. This 3/32 is just, I think it's just too big. So we'll try to screw it in. It's gonna have to have an 1/8 inch in one side. No, 7/64 maybe. Hmm. Yeah, this is. I'm glad I did that. I didn't go ahead and drill it. I decided to try to screw this in there instead. That way it's a tight fit instead of sloppy. I never seen 256 screws with a shoulder on it, but doesn't matter. That'll be fine for this. Okay, so I guess I'll have the head of the screw to the outboard side. And we'll make a nice little, like a little pod that it'll fit in and hide the head of the screw. And of course the pod on the other side will hide the blind nut. So these little details, I mean, they're a real pain in the butt, but outstanding models have, when you look at them, have something in every facet, you know. Most of my models have a lot of engineering or different things on the inside to make them light, such as the sewn ribs. Let's see if this is the right size. Bigger than that for the blind nut, so it's one size up from this. I know damn well that's big enough. If you're a mechanic like I am, and I don't have them here, but at work I have letters, numbered, and fractional bits. And with those three combinations, you can go up just a few thousandths. Just a few thousandths per drill size. But when you have just fractional bits, they jump quite quickly. So this is plywood. There's no way that I would be able to pull that screw in from across the open span, so we're going to take some needle nose pliers and force that blind nut in there. See, that would look really bad sticking on the outside of there, that blind nut. We're gonna hide that. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, got that. Need a washer. I just make a little lump there. I mean, you see it on real airplanes. They got all kind of bumps and stuff on airplanes. So that little bump will probably take an hour to do. One time we were at Joe and All, and Tom Morris said, "Yeah, I watched your video. It was exciting. How to sand a wingtip for hours and hours and hours." It's just what it takes. If you're looking for excitement, this ain't the channel. Okay. And I hope I don't ever lose this wheel. Okay, there it is. We don't have many watchers tonight. Like, subscribe, share the video. If the channel helps you join, become a member. Well, that's perfect in there. Perfecto. And I'm sure this is a lot lighter than plywood floor and a wire. There we go. And that's all that's going to be sticking out. That's my tail wheel setup. So I need to cut this off. And we're going to make a bump on the side here. This side here is not so tricky. It's just a bump cover for this. But this side over here is going to be a bump with a hole in it. So that might be a little more tricky. So let me think about this. Easiest way to cut that bolt is we'll screw it in till it's tight. That pulls it down real good. I'll take my mini bolt cutters, Nip-X. Yep, cut it off. Yeah. Shoot. Well, the vacuum will have to pick it up, I guess. And screw it out till it turns. Now I don't want that coming out, so I'm going to CA that in there. That wheel weighs 2 grams. I wish this whole thing weighed nothing, but there's not much I can do about it. Okay, let's see here. This is thick set CA. You don't want to use thin set because you get it inside them threads, you're done. Never get it out. Could use some neosporin on the threads again. So I think CA would probably wick down in there anyway. Might as well check it now. Yep, still good. Okay, so now I want a bump on there. How would I do it? Well, I guess I could whittle it out of this, or I gotta have a piece of wood. Now we'll start off with a 1/4 inch piece. Let's see here. How wide does it have to be? It has to be 3/8 wide. Quarter is too thin, so it's gonna have to be 3/8 wide. So I just have a piece of scrap wood I milled from super light stock. So we'll set this to 3/8. The stripper. I'm just doing it by eye. That's all I'm gonna need right there. 10 times more than I'm gonna need. And I'll just cut it and sand it to shape and glue it on. So, gotta have a starting size. So we'll go 3/8 by half. And I'm just gonna eyeball the half. For you new math, the guys, that's a guess. So I just guessed about a 1/2 inch. Let's see how close I am. I guessed, and that's how close I am. It's exactly 1/2 inch. So I want to make this a teardrop. So we're going to airfoil it, basically. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I just, something that I dreamt up. And it won't take too long. It's just, the other side will have the hole in it so it hides the head of the screw. So now I need to glue this on here. Yeah, should have been half by half. And by the time I whittle the, oh, shoot, needs to be half by half. So we'll start and see. We'll start with the whole length. It's not right. It's too small. So this is about 5/8 wide. I'm gonna just make it a 1/2 inch long and sand it to shape 1/2 inch long. Let's see if I got my 1/2 inch right. About 9/16. So we'll sand that to a 1/2 inch. There we go. You have to start with a measurement when you're doing something like this so you can duplicate it for the other side. I can't just say, well, I'll make it. You know, some guys probably could eyeball it, but it's just best to start with a measurement that you know that you can duplicate for the other side. I know this to be true too, that I'm going to have to recess that hole in there, so I'm going to have to take a big drill bit. The sides of the blind nut back. Next size up from that. Do this by hand. And we need to dig out a little bit so that the blind nut sits down flush. Need an end mill bit, really. Yep, that's it right there. Okay, if you can see here, it's way too wide, but I'm going to sand it down to shape. I don't want to, I could probably cut it in half. Of course, they're going to super fill it on there too. You know, there's a million ways to do this. You don't have to do something like this. I'm just doing it because I want this model exceptional. I'll sand the round in it. Hey, thanks for the like. I only see one current viewer, but 2 likes. I don't understand how that works, but we'll take it. Yeah, we got 2 viewers now. We get 4 or 5 in, I'll mention the memberships again. I need you guys to become members so I can keep doing this. It's only $5 a month. Come on, guys, don't be so damn cheap. All right, let's go ahead and glue that on. We're going to use thin set CA for this. So I've got that little teardrop airfoil in line in with the datum line of the airplane. And it's just a guess. It doesn't have to be perfect. Matter of fact, if people are down there looking at that wart, it'd be standing too close to my airplane. Okay. So now I want to airfoil it or lump it this way, so we'll go around this way. And you could, like I say, I could have cut that in half. Matter of fact, I'm going to, that'll take way too long to sand. Oh, I needed about half that thickness. Okay. I could use that half there for the other side. So they're exactly the same. That's what I'm going to do. I need to drill a hole in it the size of the head of the screw and glue it on there, and I'm done. Okay. That way they're the same shape and same size. Of course, it'll get super filled in too. And normally you wouldn't do something like this, but because this is a oddball tail wheel setup, you got to hide the screw somehow. That's all I can say. It's a little overkill. Shit, I'll have an hour just in this. What you do down there? Well, I made these. Oh, like to mention, if I can talk John into it, we'll probably go back with Saturday at John's this weekend. I think we're lifted so I can travel a little bit. Okay, so now I got that one. That hides the blind nut. Now I need to make one for this side. So in order to get that in the same exact spot as the other side, which I've got this piece here, just eyeball it and push on it. And drill a hole in it. Let's see here. And I'm going to have to take the width of that one down a little bit. So when you're drilling holes, I wish I had a scribe or something. Or a little bit. You always want to go way undersized. And really slow. So I'll put CA on this first to harden up the wood. Glued it to my finger there. Now I'll burn myself. Kick it off. Ooh, that ain't no kidding. Yow! Damn! Got hot quick. I drill it again. Split it. Damn. Might have to go ahead and make another one anyway. No, I got it. Add some more glue to it. Try not to burn myself. If I could do this with a grinding stone, it would be better than a drill bit. It would come out smoother. I don't think I have anything that small. Not here anyway. Man, that hurt. Believe it or not, I did that on purpose at SIG. I reached into my flight box, I cut my hand super deep, couldn't get it stopped bleeding. I went up to the trailer at SIG and I said, "You got any CA?" I put CA on it, wouldn't stop bleeding. Frank Carlisle was there. I said, "Frank, buy some kicker and I'll pay for it or whatever." We gave her the money and I put more CA on it. I said, "Okay, Frank." And I was holding it together, kick it, and bam, it smoked and man, it burnt. But you know what? I don't have a scar there at all. I glue myself together a lot at work. So I know it won't hurt you. So let's try to drill it again. Nope, gonna split. Damn. Yep, I just have to sand another one. Not a problem. I wonder if I got a piece of tubing I can skive it with. The drill bit's too aggressive for that light balsa wood. It's getting a rough outline here, so it's close to the same. Trust me, if they can see both sides, but they're standing way too close. Close enough. So, for the next trick, we'll use a piece of brass tubing. Try that. Which I probably should have done in the first place, if I have any. Somebody type in the chat box, make sure that you guys can still type at me. Let me see, settings. Maybe I need to go to settings. I'm having a heck of a time with YouTube. I don't understand how to make it work, right? Where's the mouse? Somebody just say hello in the chat box, please. So I know it's working. I think I have it set for members only. That's not what I wanted. So let me find the mouse, which I have no idea where it went. Okay. Where are you? That's my hat. Come on. I tell you, oh, there it is. Right in front of my face. Exactly where I left it. Let's see about the settings here. Live chat. Live chat. No, we don't want to do that. Nope, it's okay. Hey, Scott, yeah, it's working. But you're a member, so okay. Let's go back to settings. Turn this off. Details. How do I close this out? Cancel. All right, yeah, it's working. We got 3 viewers. Scott's on there, but he is a member. I don't know. I don't know if it's working or not until somebody else that's not a member comes in. If you're not a member of Stunt Hangar video chat, please type in the chat box. I wanna see if we got the chat going out. Okay, I have a piece of tubing. For my next trick, I'm going to cut a piece of tubing off. About yay long, put it in the drill, and drill a hole with the tubing. Yeah. That got hot. Yeah. I don't know if I have this set to members only or not, because all we had so far is Scott, who's a member, and Charles, who's now a manager, come in. So I don't know if you can't chat in the chat box. Send me a message on Stunt Hanger, and I'll see what's up with that. Okay, I want to get this in the right spot again, so we'll be drilling it from the back side. Or just become a member. That would help. So I want it right there. This is what I should have done in the first place. So there's the hole for it. Have you any of you guys ever tried to drill with tubing? If you take your knife and skive the inside of it, it'll make a perfect hole. Now watch it make a liar out of me. Perfect hole. Somebody's on the phone. Hello. Good. What's up? Okay, hold on a second. Let me tell the guys I'm gonna take a phone call for a second, guys. So I'll be back. I'm gonna turn the sound off on the stream, and I'll be back with you. Uh, I'm screaming. Yeah, hold on. Let's see here. How do I turn the sound off? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Had to take the phone call. I'll spend another 15 minutes on here, at least until I get this little bump done, and we'll go from there. So I made the perfect hole in there. Now I need to glue it on there and shape it. So I got it glued on there, and I cut half of it off on the other side, so that's what we'll do again. And hope that I didn't glue the bolt in there. Thin set CA is killer stuff, man. Better check it. That's pretty stiff. Should be all right. Should be okay. It won't go any farther until I take the bolt out, though. I'm gonna cut half of that off. And then we'll finish shaping it. I don't know how I dreamt this up. I just thought of I've seen real airplanes with actual covers on them. You know, private airplanes. Military airplanes aren't that way. Military airplanes look like crap, so they just have a gear door on them and that's it. So if you're on this stream and you can't type in the chat box, please send me a message on Stunt Hangar so I know that it's not working. Or if you would, type in the chat box now and let me know that it is working. Scott Baird, he's a member, so I can see he's in green. Charles is in blue. He's a manager, so I know that's working. Otherwise, I'm going to have to figure out some other settings. So this needs to get sanded up this way. I think we'll cut it up. When in doubt, punt. Oh, damn, yeah, got to get sanded up this way. So we'll cut it up that way. Well, it doesn't look like I got a whole lot done tonight, but we'll be on again tomorrow night. So now instead of having that ugly axle out there, it's got a little teardrop on there. Of course, it'll get molded in with superfill. Just one more thing to worry about. Need to get that other sandpaper out of my pocket. Glasses. Okay. Like I said, if you're on here and you're not a member and you're trying to chat and it's not coming through, please let me know on Stunt Hangar. Because I want to make sure everybody can chat at me. I'm still working the settings out. Well, that's it. It hides the ugly blind nut on that side and the screw head on that side. They're not the same, but they will be. I think I'm going to call it a night. I've been on for an hour and so. Appreciate you watching. I'll keep cutting it back until it's the same. Yeah. It's basically just a cover, so you don't need a whole lot there. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night. I'll try to have the chat situation sorted out. Till I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.